massively underperforming compared to some previous events.
Yeah, the last game we saw the real Aspas. That was where he was able to really step up and show us what he's got, but ultimately, it's whether he can keep that up consistently. And the man on the other side of things, Buzz, has been insane the whole tournament.
Absolutely. He's currently the second highest rated player next to Ye, which, you know, pretty solid achievement for a man that...
Not a bad man to be second to.
Absolutely. And Buzz, you know, he hasn't always had the best of tournaments when he reaches this international stage, so it's a pleasure to see him actually start to step it up. Now, we'll get into more of the conversation around the stats and the players a little later. For now, it looks like that Sheriff's about to be challenged. Aspas happy to concede the ground after just the shot, the information, and, well, they're going to have to play back into this site, back behind the wall. But Sassy still has a recon to play with. It's going to be making its way into the site any time now.
Well, they spotted the cam at least, so that's not going to cause them too much troubles later into the round. A full retake, though, is not the most common setup going into these pistol rounds. It can be quite difficult to get back in, especially with no damage done.
Some ideas there, Aspas putting a ping down and then spamming through the wall, but he's not going to find anything, and Stax has grabbed one. The flash now primed and ready, and Buzz is going to utilize that, but the shots are not connected, and with Stax going down, the site is now lost. DRX have to fight their way back in, and they've now lost window as well. Everything's falling apart for the Koreans. RB is the last bastion, and he will fall as well. The round goes to Loud as they pick up their pistol.
Yeah, solid retake from them. It was looking very shaky, especially with some of the afterplant positions, like having to clear out 3 different players from those backlines, and Pancada does an incredible job of it. We saw the stats earlier on. I feel like the stat sheet was a little bit unreliable, putting Sadak at the top with only 2 games currently on Viper.
He's a Viper main
He's not even playing Viper in this game. It's just
don't worry about it.
But I do think Pancada has been one of the best players, especially for this Loud squad, but also just in general on the controllers. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, he has. The rest of the team, though, like, it's an interesting face to Loud. You got the last event. We had Aspas in the top 10. He was having a solid bunch of games start to finish. You look at it this time around, and actually, there's no Loud players in the top 10. There's none in the top 15. You've got Les as the highest rated player. He's number 16, and Aspas has found himself in 26. So it's definitely been a fall off from previous events, but maybe just slow to start and warm up. They're only against pistols here. The Classics already netting themselves 1 kill. Damage here is the name of the game. You don't expect to walk out with a victory. And with the reinforcements already here, that's pretty much out of the question. The only thing is, can they manage to drop 1 or 2 more weapons and make this one expensive? And already this is a success.
Yeah, it's going to be the farm up for Les, which unfortunately is not going to be the most useful ultimate to have going into this 3rd round. I actually look at it slightly differently, though, with Loud. I look at it as their team has consistently been good across every single player, that they haven't needed that superstar. I would be very worried going into this match, for example, if Buzz didn't perform.
Yes.
I think that means Loud win, hands down. So
sure.
I think that's the other side of the coin, is Loud have been so good across every single player. DRX have some incredible players, but if they go missing, they could be in real trouble.
That's exactly it. I mean, having a well-rounded team, not having a guy #1 in the event and top 5, it doesn't even matter. As long as you're all performing to the level you need to be, they're going to keep pushing forward. Loud have caught them completely off guard. They thought maybe the presence they'd shown would be enough to deter them, but no. Loud come in with a brave face and an opening duel, giving them a rifle to play with and completely dismantling DRX's plans. They're looking for space elsewhere, and a good shot by Zest and a push up through halls could buy them a little bit more room to play with.
Yeah, bear in mind this bonus round on the side of Loud actually has rifles on every single player, so it's still very dangerous and something that DRX definitely have to take their time with. I think after that initial aggression, just slowing things back down, making sure things don't get too far out of control, and resetting back into this A-site take. The problem is, though, they're pushing into what is normally your 2-site anchors, so this is going to be tough.
Well, that snake bite should slow them down, but one man's already gone in. Buzz is on the site, another snake bite coming his way, stopping that wide swing from coming in. There's a gap, and he's trying to find the angle on it. So is Pancada, though, returning fire, and the shots are landing. Good damage done, but he's surrounded. Taken down, another kill for DRX. With the players sitting inside of halls, well, he can't quite help out his teammate. Loud are starting to chip away at these players, and still having the rifles, this makes it very intimidating for DRX. They're going to concede the site and try to play the post plans, but even then, Mako only has the 1 snake bite. They're going to have to rely on duels, bringing it across the line.
Yeah, well, at least he gets the snake bite out before they actually get
it.
No, it's just removed, but Marco's managed to actually hit the shot. It comes down to the 1v1 with it already, oh sorry, 1v2, and with it already halved, they have to peek into this one. Marco is going to be landing that final shot, and DRX, okay, it's costly, but they've got themselves on the board, and Marco actually getting that many kills is going to have himself the ult.
This is something we've seen from FPX many times, right? The ability to deal damage in rounds like this, just exaggerated by the sheer quantity of rifles you're bringing into what should be a low-buy round, but this has come way too close. In the dueling ability, Loud have matched up 1-to-1 easy, and outside of that, they were seconds away, not even seconds, a second away from getting that defuse from right under their nose. That could have went badly wrong. It didn't. DRX win the round, but they'll pay for it fiscally as they move into this with all their credits on the line. But a fantastic opening duel by Buzz. He's taken that inside of double doors by the looks of it. Just a straight swing from both players that leaves the attackers with the advantage.
Now we have to see how Loud are actually going to adapt to this. Again, it was mentioned on the desk, a lot of that utility is expected to be removed by Sky, but with the dog already gone, they might have to do that a little bit more manually. The thing is, though, with this advantage, you can see DRX slowly resetting into that take of B. Aspas is already here, and they are going to be walking into Less's trap.
Two of them, in fact. And look at the updraft trap. I mean, you don't see that every single day, but he's going to try to get past it in theory and get caught by it. Maybe the drone at least will be found, and indeed it is on the way through. Aspas not able to catch those kills. I mean, they've got the info, but not yet able to capitalize on it. At least they'll find the one, and an attempted swing reveals there's at least two here. The player's ready to duel, but so is RB. A fantastic opening for DRX as they steal this side away from Loud and leave Pancada all alone. That was close. That was very close.
It needs to be a lot closer, though, if he's actually going to be able to do anything in this round. Credits in the bin. Maybe if he gets a few orbs, that would be something. Get the Viper's Pit, might give them an opportunity going into the next round. The fact is, DRX didn't even have to really use that much either. They didn't use the Viper's Pit. They've still got Seekers for the next one, so they could even use that just as an eco buffer if they wanted to. Back harder. Oh, actually, they're facing the wrong way. They've just almost walked past each other. He might get a couple of kills here on the way out. That's at least a first, but RB is going to manage to spin on a dime and take him out instead. 2-2. DRX stabilized very quickly indeed. And now, well, as said, economy in the bin.
Yeah, the danger was there that DRX would end up in the same position Loud now find themselves in. Look at this opening. Absolutely fantastic. Right. Seeing the feet and tapping away. And RB, that kill, plus he's 31 HP coming out of this engagement, puts him one away from his ultimate moving into the next round. They even have the choice to drop a weapon and run that if you wanted to. But up against this kind of buy from Loud, it is just one that you want to play conventionally and win off the advantages that you come into the round with. A little bit of a risk taken here, RB on the other side of the map. Now, if Loud can manage to isolate him in a duel and pick that rifle up, that's already a success for them.
Yeah. Easier said than done. No, maybe not. Damn. All right.
Looked pretty easy to me.
Les is on form at the moment. Top of the board, 8 kills already. And he's going to get a rifle for Aspas. Now, even if he gets 1 kill, Bladestorm, I don't think he's going to be able to juggle around the weapon just because of his position, but maybe he can take over it again, though. DRX slowing things back down, waiting patiently, and it's only going to be that 1-for-1 trade.
Still, in a round like this, leaving your teammates with an advantage. They have the Marshal to play with. They have Sheriffs to follow up. This could be huge. It is a gun, but look, for 2 trades, you will take that every day of the week. And Les has really just been on fire, like I said. Look at these traps changing it up. We had the updraft trap previously, and it also caught the drone on the way through. This time, waiting to allow them to move back. And this is the part of the map they've been pushing to. When they take B control, they've been sending 2 or 3 players to fight back left. Now they'll have some trouble. They've even put a shock dart down to break a trap that isn't there. And they might even think, oh, maybe Cypher's not around here. Maybe his traps aren't here. Oh, if they turned, they'd see him. Just in time, they've spotted Les, removed the traps, even gotten some info because they're going to see them now and know, okay, keep an eye for those in future rounds.
Yeah, this is where things should become quite easy. They're actually going to use the Viper's Pit. Especially considering they should know at this point they're up against pistols. Maybe worried about that rifle being picked up from behind, but still quite a heavy investment. Sadak, though, is going to be able to drop one. This leaves things problematic as they're looking to try and wrap through Pancada with another. It's getting very dangerous, but Marco still lies within this pit. Always a nuisance to try and clear the flash. Oh! It's perfect, but they got past each other. They don't even realize. Finally, Sadak will turn around, and actually, they will clear him out. The question is, do they have the time? And it looks like they do comfortably.
Yeah, it's a resounding yes on that. The defuse coming through with 4 seconds left on the clock. And so unfortunate if you're DRX, you're going to be scratching your head as to how Pancata made it there. But Zest put out a drone. He watched behind them. It came through. It cleared elbow. It cleared their back. Watched for the gun being picked up. But he had just slipped past it, leading them to think they were a lot more free than they were. That is an unbelievable round from Loud, coming in with 4 Sheriffs and a Marshal. And it's Aspis getting those first 2 duels, putting the numbers in their favor, putting DRX on the back foot.
The lucky thing, though, is on the other side, they've got so many ults that it doesn't even matter that much. Tour de force straight through. They can even use themselves, the knives as well, if they really need to in the late round. So it is very costly, and the round going to Loud is huge, but at least DRX aren't in the bin. Yeah,
it was starting to feel like maybe DRX had that commanded control over the early round, but what a fantastic answer from Loud. I thought even the 2 kills they started with just set them up to do a decent bit of damage, you know, making an okay eco. But the round win, they've propelled themselves back into the lead. Now this hold on B side, again, a completely different setup from these traps. It's the benefit of running the Cypher. If you're able to just keep them guessing, even going to burn utility like we saw before. Now the drone making its way through B main. It's not even spotted the trap, I believe. This could be very dangerous. Even though they get themselves onto the site, there's so much more to worry about. They have destroyed the trap on the way through, though, luckily. And they'll make their way in for the plant. That Blade Storm lurking around spawn, yet to really land any of those knives.
Spike planted.
Hunter's Fury in the after plant as well. You can already see that Zest is walking all the way back just to try and reclaim deep control. They are going to be able to remove some of the utility up close, but look how far away he is. Just making sure that ult will be used no matter what happens here, if they need it. Clearing Buzz, already the first point of call, and they failed at it. He's still sticking around in the back lines, and they need to get rid of him before they can do anything. They are starting to get some damage done, Mitch, but the problem is, until he goes down, they don't have anywhere near the site. Even still, the time is ticking. Buzz already going to get one more, and eventually it all falls apart. A good after plant scenario for DRX, and again, it's those faster B takes that have been causing real issue.
He saw Aspis on the way back through because of the little skirmish around mid and trying to catch them on the way through B main. He only had that 1 knife remaining and went to get a rifle. Couldn't really do it with that. Buzz taking the space, grabbing them that opening and staying alive to delete Sadik. I mean, the round could have fallen apart completely had he been able to keep running around. That snake bite might not have made it down. But in the end, they've managed to put it up 3-3, tie up the scoreline, and push Loud again to a very weak bye. But look at what they've got to start the round off with. An entire portion of the map locked out by this Viper's Pit.
Yeah, it's still bold, though, because they only have 2 rifles to play with. Oh, Aspas! He's been pushing elbow quite regularly, and with the information they got, it was something, but instead, Hunter's Fury already used so much info guarded, and it is an easy cleanup for DRX. This was a pretty decent investment on a couple of players, still having enough to buy into the next round, but Mitch, they got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you saw those players swinging out after the Hunter's Fury tagged up less. They wanted to swing Aspis and Sassy to provide a bit of support, thinking he was about to be pushed, wall-banged, or scanned up again, but instead, they met Stax, who was ready and waiting for that covering fire. Sadik, he's managed to recover a rifle at least, but the chances don't improve that much. You can see DRX in complete control right now with Pancata. Well, he'll find the 1 and maybe start farming up that ult again. I don't know that he has the time to get this done. Still got his wall to play with, so he can maybe block off some vision. But that's about where the hope ends.
He's got to almost just, again, try and do as much damage as he can, and he's going to get absolutely nothing for it. DRX break back very easily indeed, it seems. And these B takes have just been fantastic from them. And that's the thing, a lot of teams do almost try to avoid heading into this B site so regularly. Like the A site execution, the after plant, that's the most common point of call on this map. Just because
what are our expectations to close out this half? I mean, Loud currently on 3. Feels like they could have had more, but at the same time, the eco round they won gave them that little injection to equalize. I can still see this half slipping away from them if they're not careful.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, because I feel like they definitely can still do it on that attacking side, but DRX are very good at the attack. So it's an odd one. Like I feel like we could end up almost somewhat level here, and neither team ends up with a massive, massive advantage just because of how DRX actually likes to play the map.
Well, in this 8th round, we've already seen the trap destroyed, and that has taken a lot of DRX's focus. clearing out cave, making sure there's nobody close on the boxes or anything like that. You see even the ping just there. It's gone down inside a cave because they're worried about maybe he's gone all the way through. Maybe that's why he's not at the box. But now they've seen they've wasted, I don't want to say wasted. It was wise to check it, but a minute's off the clock and they've got to do something, and all of them are stacked up to A.
The problem is, there's not much to delay on this A side of the map. Okay, you've got a single fragment, which Sadak will be able to throw out, and then it will give a little bit of time for Sassy. He might even just want to try and slow them out with a Hunter's Fury if they continue in this direction. But because of how slow DRX have been, we've gone from just 2 players defending this A site to maybe even 4.
Yeah, I mean, they think they've won it because they've reset their cycle of utility, right? The Viper on the defensive side is now out of util, but on the attack, they've got plenty still. That's such a good tag! Sassy revealing, assisting that way, but it's the kill as well to follow. This leaves DRX with basically no hope. They've got to get in here and plant right here and now. The attempt is being made. Loud rushing in to try and stop it, to halt the plant before it comes through, but they've missed. The plant was on the back of the site, and Pancada now has to clutch again. The Viper on the other side, just running out of Viper's screen. Mako rotating around the pyramid now, about to take the fight. Pancada's looking elsewhere! The timing couldn't be better! DRX have crushed Loud's economy, and the lead is well and truly theirs.
Yeah, I think coming into today, if you were looking at the majority of controllers, you'd have #1 and #2 as the 2 controllers we currently have in this matchup. Like Marco, even going back to the last event, the amount of assists he was able to pull off was just truly absurd. The thing is, Sassy does a lot with how much he reveals, but the battles on the actual site are being won in the meantime by DRX. So even though they get down to the 10-second marker, they were able to stabilize even within all of that havoc. And again, it just shows how good the structure and almost the control this team has.
One small piece of utility remaining for Loud, and that round could have fallen apart completely, but there you go, another shock dart burned up. I mean, just look, they're using both shock darts and still not destroying the traps. Buzz has gone down on the way through. We've seen Loud do this before. For DRX, the story of today is stopping history from repeating itself. They need to do that here and now. The pistol still not being dealt with. Sassy will fall, but look at the swing on the back of the site. So much firepower here for Loud, but in the end, they only managed to hold out, not take anyone else from DRX down. RB surviving that round with 1 health, stacks on 10. But DRX still keep that economy in such a flourishing position.
Yeah, and again, it's those fast B takes. I've said it already, like Les has been doing a decent job. I think Pancada even getting the opener there. But it's just, it doesn't seem like the synergy between them is that great. Like, you would know even towards the end of that round, a lot of the duels were able to be isolated just because they were slightly off. And sure, they had weaker weaponry. I think we can give them that excuse, but there was a real opportunity for them to steal that round away. Again, Viper's Pit is going to be online with the Blade Storm on the other side, but unless Buzz gets into some sort of clutch, I don't think he's going to use it.
Yeah, that's just being kept back pocket, or in case he's got some crazy ideas of updraft peaks. Now look, 3 rounds left to play for, and we said seeing the scoreline even wouldn't be too bad for either team, but looking at Loud right now, they have a ways to go to make that happen. DRX with the same approach, the movement up through mid. I mean, they've seen a lot of these trap wires playing on the B site again and again. They know maybe they don't have anything to cover this off. That control will be contested late round by RB. By the looks of it, he is just tucked in and waiting. The timing there was perfect. He saw the barrel. At least I think he might have. Either way, he's got the shot connected. The DRX now selling this massive fake information. There's a player on the A side. He's making a ton of noise. They've got through halls. They could be opening the door. But in fact, the entirety of the team is waiting outside B. This TP was set to go back to mid, and they've reset for a B take.
The thing is, this is going to be spotted. And they can probably hear this above them. They're eventually going to break it, but all the information is going to be there. It's just whether they can delay them enough. And I'm not so sure they can! Aspas within the smoke still manages to find a kill with the operator, evening things up, and they still haven't found his cam in the shrubbery.
Well, Les has gone down, so that'll do the job, but remember, Loud have held on here with pistols for so long in the past. Now, a rifle in hand, and it's the op to grab one. Good timing on the trades, and RB following, even despite some great individual plays there for Loud. DRX always have their bases covered.
They just can't crack B, the defense. They can't do it. Again, every single time there's a cheeky cam or a trip or it's something that they walk into, And they still only lose like 1 or 2 players just because their trading is so effective that the second that player's position is revealed, somebody is there to pincer on it. You even see it there. The shot hits Stacks, instantly Marco swings. It's just that interplay between DRX right now, which is just proving too much to deal with. And for Loud, because they're playing so slow, even though they have these deep information positions, by the time they realize, it's already too late.
And sometimes you would have that being a bad trade, because if you imagine the Jet is further back on the corner and can back out, but there was a player watching that as well, so they actually knew Jet was like in the middle of the wall. Just perfect play, great information coming their way. Pancata for one, the snake bite, making it so much easier to take down Buzz with any weapon, but he takes the Guardian headshot.
Oh my.
And it's return times 2. The pistol's at least able to do something. Rifle retrieved at what cost, though? Zesta's taken down all his teammates, and Sadek's alone with a sliver of health. Oh, they did so well to start this out, Tom, but again, it's left in a near impossible scenario.
They've got the wrong ults in the wrong place. That's the only thing that really benefits him. But now Zest, he's been able to cross.
They don't even need the ults. 2 shock darts,
the thing is, at this time as well, like you might even just want to use it just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
Like, just go, okay, Hunter's Fury will guarantee the round. If he even touches it, let's just make sure he loses. I think DRX have been so strong that they've never really needed this ult for any other reason. And as I said, 1 tag will do enough, but even the time that is being bought is going to be far more problematic. Sadak having to be so careful that even in the late seconds, he's just going to try and stick it. Maybe there's a small angle, but eventually he is going to be wallbanged. DRX controlled again in the afterplant, and 8 rounds already on the attack. As I said, I think Loud are normally better defense. DRX are normally better on attack. It doesn't matter, DRX are smashing them.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, the mold being broken is almost out of the question. They're starting to shatter it.
They won pistol and they've got 3 rounds.
They won pistol and an upset eco round.
Yeah,
remember, Sheriffs, they haven't won a single buy round, and this is just a terrible position to be in. I did love the attempt, though. If Sadek had caught both players with that flash, if they didn't have a recon on, they might not have heard him tap it. He might have been able to sneak it out from under their nose, but it wasn't to be this time. Loud, not able to get off the early foundation that they built. We're still at that same level, but look at this push coming through. Aspis changing up the game. It is being watched by RB. He might turn his eye at the wrong moment. We've seen timing be such an incredible feature of this game so far, but, well, he was spotting it. No kill to be found either way, but early aggression denied from Loud. They'll again find themselves boxed in and playing the same kind of rounds that haven't been fruitful for them so far.
As I said, like, them finding information has been impossible just because how deep DRX have been playing and almost just feeling out the map. It seems like the calls that are coming through from Stacks have been sublime, and most of the time they've fallen back. I like this, though. Something different, a mid-walk, trying to take some space, trying to remove some information from the other side, and maybe catching a rotation, but even still, less is going to go down to Buzz. Flash from Sadak will at least slow them down, at least for a second, but they almost need to sprint to get back to B.
And here's the problem, it's Les that died. B side has no utility, trap wires are gone, and Sadak not having a good time in these duels. Sure, you pick up the 1, but so much more still to be done. Buzz had popped the Blade Storm here as it's the last round. He's trying to get some wall bang damage in. But as he's reloading, Aspis closes this space. Now he's nice and close, ready to fight, but Buzz takes out the Blade Storm, and he's ready to take hits. 1 frag to bring him to 3. And with Stacks, Mako, and Zest alive, a Viper's Pit in play, a flash around, damage done, a drone in as well, and it's even getting the tag. Insult to injury here. There's practically no way short of divine intervention that Loud will be winning a buy round in this half, and this is their map pick, Tom. This is their side, and DRX have dismantled them.
Honestly, it started to look like it could go back in the other direction.
Was it versus a bad team at least?
No, it was versus Optic.
Oh, so a bad team. Oh, right, okay. So,
but like,
versus good opposition.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult for them to turn this around. Obviously, we didn't get to see much of their offense because eventually they closed it out, and although Optic brought it back a little bit, they definitely needed a pistol here. And the thing is, as Seth was saying, DRX are no slouches on this defense either.
Well, Loud are certainly upping the pace on the Halls push. We didn't see this for a while coming out of DRX, but right off the rip, that's where they're looking to apply the pressure, split in towards Buzz and leave him all by himself. And he'll get nothing done this time around. A solid connection from that Sheriff Aspis has been buying up. They'll be able to get a plant and keep very deep control.
Really good opportunity for them here. Aspis playing up close, and already they're just slaughtering the remaining opposition. Stacks left. 1v5. Now, we have seen him do something like this before. I remember a bind. I remember the craziest clutch I think we had in that tournament. But I don't think he has the time to do it. Even any orbs that he can gain would be nice, and he's already starting to spot players behind him. That one should be free. Anything more, though? Yeah, that would be a surprise, and Aspas is going to make sure it doesn't go any further.
I mean, you had pretty much everybody being low. Sassy was the only guy who had close to 100 left with his 5 shields, but in the end, it's just a little too much to ask. Look, that is light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps, but let's remember the previous half. Loud won the pistol, the follow-up, an eco round, and outside of that, they got nothing done. They were caught with their pants down every single time at DRX. Sure, they don't win this pistol either, but if you lose both pistols and you're leading by 5, it's a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, and they're not going to really be taking any risks in this round either. Like, basically nothing invested. RB didn't even buy Headhunter bullets. So they really aren't putting anything into this round. It's just like, you know what? We're the kings of the buy rounds. Let's just wait for those to come along. And even still, Buzz has done a little bit of damage. Now, realistically, that means nobody should drop in this round for the side of Loud.
Yeah, especially when you've already got the side control. I think it comes to overextensions, realistically. And with the investment you've got, you cannot allow overextensions to happen. Those mistakes can't be coming through. Now Les is holding back 125 HP. It's going to be a tough fight for Zest. It has to be a whiff from Les to give him any chance, and it's clean as can be. As you said, no Headhunter for RB. Don't really know what he can do here. Maybe try capitalize off that tiny bit of damage his teammate just did, but short of that, it'll be dying to the spike.
It's a really interesting angle to actually try and hold. Obviously, it's one that could allow him to die to the spike later or maybe just catch someone, but I'd be surprised if anybody really went up in that direction. I guess just trying to make sure he's not giving any extra orbs, nothing to play with going into the next, and yeah, he'll go down to the spike instead.
God, it would have been hilarious if they planted in like the further corner.
it just didn't.
He's just like staring at the wall like, oh no. Guess I'm playing Headhunter next round. Well, with that, DRX come out 9-5. They have a 4-round lead after losing both pistols and follow-ups, and a near flawless record when they've got rifles in their hands. Funnily enough, I mean when their opponents have rifles in their hands. That's actually flawless. 10 seconds left till the barriers go up, and you can see this is a pretty concentrated push coming out of Loud. I mean, they've got no control anywhere. Trap and a cam watching behind. They're looking to take A in halls.
Yeah, the thing is, I think we're going to see some aggression on the other side. Like already, the Tiger coming through is going to give so much information that look at the rotation. Look straight away, DRX. 3 players on this side. A 4th one going through mid. They're going to have so many players here.
They need that. With the preference already shown to move towards this site right away from the pistol round. It's wise for DRX to still have players stacked up around here. Aspas on his way towards the site, clearing through. Buzz gets dropped. And Aspas is now making his way to the doorway, but that's when he gets caught by Zest. They had a little trap set up on back yellow and halls. They've secured the control, and from here they'll look to fight their way back into the site. But look at how far back Loud have gone to.
Yeah.
They are all the way in the spawn. I mean, Mako's already fired off his snake bites, so he won't have anything to work with, whereas Pancada's got his. You've got 2 shock darts to work with, and I believe the orb should be on the spike as well.
That's going to be a lot of afterplants. They at least managed to clear out the lurker. That means they are all coming from the same position, but with utility removed, and as you mentioned, basically so much damage being taken as they go anywhere near that spike. There shouldn't be much of an opportunity. Has got into half, and then RB just wipes out everyone else. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to actually get the defuse through. That's the only issue they have! 0.88! What a retake from DRX! That looked like there was no hope, but just quick clearance of that flank, and then just wiping out everyone else.
Unbelievable. I mean, DRX did everything right. That was the one situation in the multiverse that got them the win, and it's this swing from RB, cleaning the last 2, buying the time. And buying the time, even then, it's less than a second that it comes down to 5 between them, and if you're Loud, that's a devastating loss, but because of the way they played the early round, and we saw this before, they are able to come back in here with a buy. Ultimately, though, I think they'll look at it like, if we can't close a round like that, then it doesn't matter if we're buying. They've got to solve those issues. That cannot happen again.
Walk up the tube. They managed to get quite far in the last round with not so much of a challenge. It has been spotted by Zest, and straight away they're going to pop out that null command, the flash, to try and take that extra space, although we haven't seen the move yet from Aspas, but the dash across will give an opportunity. No trade back though.
You know, Sadic's only down on the stairs, but I don't think anyone's going to be getting him up. He's at least a Cypher cam for now. Spotting it out. No one's walking up to yellow. Can feed that info over. Zest waiting for him to pass, and then they'll start to make their move. Again, look at what they're up against. Shock darts for Sassy, but no snake bites in play for Pancada. They'll be playing up a lot closer to the site this time, trying to catch them as they make their way through. Sassy, first point of contact perhaps, and well, the shots are hit clean as can be. That's a much better holdout allowed.
Yeah, and I like the fact that this time they actually have a proper... Into this ace, 4 players already hit. Already managing to spot out 1, but RB has avoided it. I think they're trying to bait in a swing, knowing that somebody's close. However, DRX very willing to just be patient in this scenario, and they have a screen of their own just to try and make this push through a little bit more awkward.
Toxin screen down.
A couple of sheriffs in play, in particular Mako stood slightly further back on that A site. The headhunter for RB, the fall back to yellow, and he can continue to pick them from there. Who destroys this? It looks like it's going to be RB. Oh, it's not even. He's not going to destroy it. Sticking around, making them spend some utility. I like it. He's now back to yellow. Snake bite to slow them. And this is going to offset Loud's utility.
They know 3 players are here. They have seen Chamber. They saw Jet at the beginning of the round. And then they've just seen a snake bite. So this rotation from Loud is just based off the utility that they've already spotted. And they might have even seen a player in mid as well. So this leaves it very safe to go in towards this B site, knowing there can't be a stack of players.
There's a late round push from Buzz, though. He's already detected these players rotating, but DRX are a little late to the party. Stacks gonna have to hold on a moment before support comes through, and well, as the cavalry arrives, it's only the 1 kill. Minimal resistance being met by Loud as they make their way in. The plant still not coming in. That was the spike that they dropped in a follow-up by Mako. Makes it super costly, but nothing else to be found. And Loud one step closer to equalizing the scoreline. That was, of course, an eco, though, and DRX still made it look a little bit competitive, considering the rotation timing was off as well.
I think the read from Loud was good, though. That was the main thing. It was just using the information that you garnered to pick the weakest spot in these sort of eco rounds. They didn't have to use much in terms of their ults either, although on the other side, Viper's Pit, Hunter's Fury, Bladestorm is not going to be the nicest thing to try and face off against. The thing is, though, for DRX, they've got to be careful. Because I think this round slips the other way, game on.
Absolutely. Yep, the lead that they had, as we said, losing both pistols, it was remarkable. But if they don't make this one look a little better, then you start to really get worried. Remember, this is Loud's map pick. You know, we can look at the last game versus Optic, but as you said, you didn't get to see that much of their attacking side, and maybe it would have been strong enough to make us believe. 120 on the clock, DRX not going for the info game. Similar to what we saw from Loud. Passive play, looking for a pick here or there. The attempted play around middle, but this up here for Aspis, it almost caught vision. It was so close to finding Mako swinging out on either side, but they are missing each other by milliseconds on some of these peaks.
The thing is as well, they can't really beat any rotations because they just flashed outside of B on the side of DRX and got the info that there was somebody there. So they're not wanting to shift any of their positions just yet. They're also throwing the drone in from the attack side in towards this A site. And actually they have baited out the Hunter's Fury, but it's not going to get anything as they now push B.
He's realized immediately as well. There's the kill off the back of, oh my god, absolute desolation. There was a smoke down and they just spray through it. Kill after kill going DRX's way. You saw that 2 bursts of that Hunter's Fury go out and it gets canceled and he's thinking, okay, this is a B play. Rotation was in right away and the guys on site, they held it for longer than they even should have. That spike is down in the open and it is concretely theirs. There's no safe way to retrieve this. Sassy's picked up the operator and he is heading for the hills with 5 seconds on the clock. There's no chance they take this round. All they want is to set themselves up for the next.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we are just seeing the utility used from DRX being able to work things out. Because I was looking at the A side and thinking, okay, there's definitely some vulnerabilities there, but it was more just because they were so reliant on that Hunter's Fury. They went, okay, that will get us information, do a lot of damage on the way through if they try and push it. And the second they don't spot anything, the orb goes up. And that's the big thing. Now, one of the things I really wanted to mention, so I was speaking to Kanyang, obviously on your screen there, the CEO. He's with Juani, who is also one of the coaches of the current coach, Termi. So we have got a long lineage at the moment of like esports veterans in the DRX camp, and But I'm sure right now they're having a pretty good time. Although he did say, I saw him with a sign last time saying he was going to like give them a big bonus. So.
Oh, Mako, he's in a little bit of trouble, but they've gone right past him. They have no idea he's been revealed, though. It took a little long. But as he got spotted, that at least allows them to drop him, drop the pit, and get onto the site. Here comes the spray. Buzz not able to land it. Shock darts on their way. Oh, and I don't even know how he's controlled it. I don't know that he meant to kill him, but he's got the frag. Still, numbers won't equalize as Aspas keeps on going. A third kill in this round, and only Buzz left to find. He's hit him to 39, and with 3 players left to drop, Loud seem to have stolen this round away. What a play by Aspas, and Buzz, he is just looking for absolutely anything. No information to work with, and in the end, he's going to be shot in the back by Pancada.
Yeah, like you see that operator in play and you almost expect it to be on Aspas, but instead he is leading the charge, taking that space, a crazy final shot as well, and they actually dealt with what was quite a dangerous position better than I expected. I think with the fact that Marco gets past it, but then just being spotted by the drone, a little bit unlucky in that regard, but this is the superstar level Aspas that we sort of expect to see on this team. 11-8. Luckily, again, just having that Chamber and Jet combo is going to bail out the side of DRX in terms of their finances, but after this round, it'll be a little bit more troublesome.
Well, DRX going straight in for the aggression with RB, but he's spotted, tagged up, and he's got to get out of here. Again, early denial of this aggression has been such a strong feature for both of these sides on the attack. They've denied the pushes down halls. Now the push that was coming down through the elbow. Hunter's Fury. It's caught Zest for one, but he won't get the follow-up. Still decent damage done, but the snake bites also stop any further aggression from coming through. You can't take space off the back of it when you still have that utility up against you. But the good thing is it's burnt down now, and so that's a big worry for these players.
I almost wonder if that was being used as a distraction. Just try and get the mid player's attention to allow Les to take a little bit of extra ground, because in that whole fight, he was just moving his way forward. Or even just try to bait some rotations, but nobody moving. Marco is going to throw down another snake bite, which again will buy a little bit of extra time. But the next time out, there's not going to be much to stop them.
Yeah, the drone at least has already been expanded. Now they have an idea of where Buzz is, and the nades let him down. He's 30-24. Shots ringing out. He's still alive, but he won't get anything done past damage. Aspas, this is not a conventional spot to run the operator in. Maybe the element of surprise can come through, but no. RB is the one instead to pick up that kill. Still more Loud players alive than DRX. And look at the position of Les. That is nasty.
The other two are saving. They're almost just saying, okay, tour de force, you don't have a weapon. Just try and do some damage in this round. Try and make things as costly as possible. And, well, he'll get nothing more. That lurk, again, has just been causing issues. Being able to take that space late in the round, almost as a separate member of this squad. And now he's trying to remove the remaining weapons. He's been spotted by Zest. But you can see that Stax is somewhat torn between two spots, and Zest actually goes and peeks him. Not the man you want to be fighting on Loud at the moment. Sat right at the top of that board. And well, mentioned the finances. Now DRX are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Stax should at least have a rifle. No! Let's is going to clear him out in the last second of the round. And now all they can really commit to this is going to be the Blade Storm.
Timeout called by DRX. So little to work with and so many gaps in play right there. Definitely the right time to go back. And a read here that just is not correct. DRX going for a gamble towards A. 3 players there, 1 in the halls. And instead, it looks like it's going to be Stax that's left to do it all with a Sheriff in hand, no shields, no flashes.
It's all about timing, and that's the thing. They're moving quickly enough that I don't think DRX are going to be anywhere near this site. The hope would be that they could have run around behind and found something, but no. Basically, you're reliant on Stax killing everyone.
So the orb is still down on the B site, so it's at least going to slow them on the way through, maybe decay them a little bit, but, well, Les has just put himself above 20 kills. He's on 21 now. And this spot is being watched. Oh, the timing! Could not have been worse. Good trade at least, but it does little to bridge the gap in this round. 2 versus 4. Now Plant, you know, it went down so long ago.
Last player standing.
Oh my God, just tearing them apart. I felt like he's been doing more on this attacking side. After DRX did so well to decimate his setups, this round he just played pure entry fragger. And while RB, he's going to have a buy in the next round anyway, so might as well try and get something, but nothing for it. I also want to lean back to what you mentioned about Les and his performance in this tournament so far, because he's been one of the players that has really shifted away from just playing Chamber. And you look at some of the best maps they have. Okay, this one was what we saw prior in the tournament. He's moved back over to Cypher, an agent that is quite far out of the agent pool on a lot of maps. He's also gone back to Killjoy on Ascent, and that is their best map. So a lot of the things that they're almost surrounding a lot of their plays around is this man as an anchor on a site, and he has been superb.
So here for Sadik, 5-1 so far this half, and first kills to first deaths. I mean, that is impressive. Just using those flashes perfectly to get through some of this utility for early engagements between him and Aspis. They've been doing a fantastic job. Buzz now looks to upset that statistic, with Sadik being the man challenged right away. The dash already activated. I mean, he's got that get out of jail free card, but he just doesn't seem worried. He's still sticking around. I mean, he's got the cover of RB, so putting a lot of stock in his teammates.
It's also, it was just the health. I was like even if you do manage to dash, normally you take a couple of bullets worth of damage. Again, though, this tube spot has just caused them so many issues. They're going to get the information. The Aspas is here, but I'm going to be honest, I think you probably could have worked that out anyway.
Yeah, some simple deduction of the previous rounds. A quick TP back, they even see where RB's gone to, and they know Buzz has been playing around here as well. There's the flashes from Sadik. No reward this time, a nade to go through. That's a deep nade for Stairs, and it might give Aspis the angle. They're trying to push players out of position with their utility. Oh, that's a whiff! Okay. Aspis leaving the 62 HP Buzz alive, and he's lost his life for that attempt. DRX with a man advantage, but they have to play into the pit.
Yeah, and they've also actually put trips inside it as well. Such a nasty setup. Sadik actually goes swinging, though. I don't know if there was a pop flash off the back of that, but it didn't catch anyone if there was. Utility being expended just to try and slow this down as much as possible. Everybody going to be desperately low as they try and push through, and Pancada is just killing them off. He knows the lineup, he knows where the spike is, and they need to get rid of him, and they just can't. A solid afterplant from Loud. From such a desperate scenario, we now sit 11-11.
DRX looked like they had this one in the bag, but now the pressure is truly on. An equalized scoreline for the Korean side is just devastating, and they need to make up for it coming into the next two.
Mitch, map 1 versus FPX, 1917.
Yeah.
Map 1 versus, in the previous series before that, 1860.
Yeah.
Map 1 in the previous series before that, 1614. DRX and map 1s have been quite long.
I remember speaking to Stacks about that in the interview. I was like, man, what is it that just keeps bringing you to these long games? Like, how do you have the stamina for that? And he doesn't really know. I don't think any of us do. I don't know why it has to happen, but DRX, they need that little time to wake up in second halves. Look, 11-11 is not the end of the world, but momentum's in Loud's favor. As I said, this is their map, their comfort level high. The same for DRX, but now that we're coming to the penultimate round of this half of Indeed regulation, DRX have only got Sheriff's, Headhunter on RB, a Marshall for Zest. They haven't had a lot of success in this round. That said, this is the exact same buy where Loud found their only round outside of the first two on their defense.
Again, they're setting up into this A site. Now there is pressure down mid this time, trying to watch, but the timing just hasn't gone their way. It's just an anomaly. Buzz, though, within this corner, it's a nasty surprise hiding behind the screen, and Marco, while he's causing a distraction, manages to get one. Even still, though, just like DRX, things start to stabilize. But again, it's left onto Stacks. The rotator, the B defender, looking to try and battle and brawl, and unfortunately, the Sheriff this time is unkind. Loud, 12-11, from a huge deficit, look to take their map choice after 5 rounds in a row.
Well, there's a new Sheriff in town here on Breeze. Loud came in looking like they were down and out in this half. Fate was at an all-time low in the Brazilian side, but now just look at that scoreline. Not only are they in the lead, but they are on map point here, and you can see DRX are not happy with that. We said this is a game, a tournament for DRX. Hell, this whole year has been about trying to break the mold, stopping around this point in the last 2 tournaments, losing to Optic again and again, and now another green wall awaits them. The attacking side needs one more, but the rifles are out for DRX, and an aggressive push from Buzz. He hasn't had the success here. Damage is all they've netted, and this time, nothing.
one of the factors that has worked well for them in the series so far is the fact that they've managed to win in these overtime scenarios. The fact that they haven't had that tough loss yet. It's been 2-0s all the way through. The build-up, though, heads in towards this site once again. And Sadak, once more, is going to cause them issues around this door.
They're going in.
Look at Les.
They're making their way, and Les has the lurk, and the rest of the players, in particular Aspas, already through. They'll drop Sassy, but he's trying to wrap on the back of the pyramids. No one spotted him. That's massive. Only one, though. The trade comes in quickly. DRX attempting to hold on. They don't want to be beaten down out of this map, and it looks like they might have it, but Les coming up behind for the one. A little bit of disruption, a reveal to come through, the information there, but the spike is on the floor. They have 30 seconds to regain control of this site, and it's the man of RB, the operator, in, and he's gone! What a shot from Sadak! That could be the kill they needed. The plant to come through, and the late push through cave will not find them. They've got a post plant.
That's the thing, they had the trip. It had to be broken by Stax. He was hoping that he could lurk through from behind, but the fact is, Les never really dies early. And he's waiting and watching for Zest to try and come through. This battle is going to be everything. 2 1v1s almost being taken. Les is going to put one down. It's down to Stax again. He tries to bait the swing, but it's all over. Loud, every team has struggled.